Oh, look at that. Here I am in front of my blue void again. It's 100 degrees in Texas, and I'm doing everything I can to try to stay cool, wearing the thinnest possible shirts that I have to cut off the collar for because it's freaking hot. Anyway, today I'm talking about Snake Eater by T. Kingfisher. Now, I got this last year as an Amazon First Reads book, and I sat on it for almost a year. I don't know why. I just wasn't in the mood for it. And I finally read it earlier this year, and it was a really good book. I recommended it to a friend of mine, and he read it and he liked it as well. It follows a woman named Selena, and she is escaping big city, escaping her partner. I don't think they're married. She's trying to get away from her partner. He is a piece of shit. And that's a common theme in a lot of the books I've been reading lately. Piece of shit men and women taking back their lives. Does that say something about me? Anyway, Selena, she saves up her money. Her mom dies. She spent months and months taking care of her mom until her mom finally passed away. And during that time, she realized she didn't want to be with her partner anymore because he's a giant douche nozzle. So she decides to leave her job, pack up everything she owns, which is really nothing, just a suitcase, and her dog, Copper. He's a black lab mix. Copper's adorable. She hops on a bus, train, bus, combo. I don't remember. It's not really important. She goes to her aunt's house. I guess during the time she's corresponded with her aunt over the years, sporadically. So she knows where her aunt lives. She just decides to up and leave her partner and go to hopefully stay with her aunt for a little bit, get back on her feet. So she ends up in this middle of nowhere desert town where it's basically just one strip and the houses are spaced apart. They're it's sparse. And the mayor is also the postmaster general and also several other positions in the town. So she goes there looking for her aunt. She stops by the post office to find out where exactly her aunt's house is. And she learns that her aunt passed away. But because she's her next of kin, she's welcome to the house because no one has claimed the house yet. And it's just sitting there. And because she's related to her, she can have the house if she wants to stay for a bit. She goes to her aunt's house and she has no idea what she's going to do. She has no money. She has no job. She doesn't even have food. Turns out her aunt had some money stocked away. She got a ton of credit with the general store. Where am I going with this? I swear, I am not very good at linear storytelling. My God. So this whole book, it's got elements of fantasy. It's got elements of horror, but not like gory or anything like that. It's a lot of people have described it as cozy horror, which is what I would describe as well. It's got some creepy elements, but it is mostly fantasy and mostly just cozy. Cozy is the best word I can use to describe it. It's got elements of abuse, so trigger warnings, abuse, gaslighting, unwanted touching. You meet her neighbor, Grandma Billy, is this no nonsense, tough as nails old lady. She kind of reminds me of Reba's character from Tremors. I don't even remember her name. It was Bert and his wife was Reba. And that's who Grandma Billy kind of reminds me of. And the priest, the Catholic priest, Father Aguirre, the interactions between especially Grandma Billy and Father Aguirre is just, it's so funny. There's a lot of humor in this book. And so what happens is Selena is trying to find her way right now. She doesn't have intentions of staying there because her aunt's gone. And so she just wants to be able to get back on her feet and get back to the city. Well, during this, she learns that there are spirits and gods and minor deities just all around. There's a lot of folklore in this, a lot of legend and just spiritual and fantastical elements to this. She sees in her garden a little green spirit, and she talks to Grandma Billy about it. She's like, "Oh yeah, that's the god of the squash god," or I don't remember what kind of god it was. But he helped her grow better plants. And so there's a lot of deities and gods and things in this book that that Selena becomes aware of. Well, what the ultimate story of this book is, her aunt died. So when she finds out that her aunt died, she doesn't find out why, but eventually you come to learn that, well, her aunt was kind of in love with a roadrunner god, and they call him Snake Eater. And now that Selena's there and Selena's her next of kin, well, she must be mine then, right? So he thinks that now she belongs to him. And so he's been showing up as a roadrunner. He's been leaving snakes in her backyard, and she's been taking him. She didn't know what to do with him. She thought she was just making friends with a god. Well, apparently this was a courtship, and he was courting her through all of that. And now she became betrothed to him. And the rest of the book is trying to figure out how to get her out of that situation. And you've got some zany things going on. You meet the rest of the gods and deities in this area of the desert eventually. And I can't really say any more about it without spoiling it. But the whole found family trope in this book, it is really well done. And I liked the characters. Oh, one thing I forgot. Look at me, just bouncing all over the place here. So Selena is, I don't know if she's on the spectrum, but she is riddled with anxiety, and her ex-partner, didn't really help that because he gaslit her at every step of the way, making her question herself to the point where now she's writing scripts in her head, basically running through everything over and over again to try to find the perfect interaction with the people she's talking to. I'm not entirely sure if that is because she is on the spectrum or because her ex-partner just gaslit her so much, or a combination of both. But she eventually finds her own voice by the end of the book. And I thought this was a good book. Now, I sat with it for a while, and initially I was just kind of, oh, it was enjoyable. But then the more I sat with it and the more I thought about it, the more I actually really liked it. And now I want to read more of T. Kingfisher's books. I know she's writing the Baldur's Gate book coming out later this year, and I definitely want to read that. But there are other books that I do need to take a look at by T. Kingfisher. And honestly, like I said, I got it as a first reads book. And so I had access to it before it was officially released, and I just never read it. And I kind of wish I had, but I'm glad I finally got to it. Snake Eater by T. Kingfisher. That's the video. That's it. See you. Bye.